We are learning Mishnah Yevamos, Parak Vav, Chapter 6, Mishnah Vav, Mishnah 6. Lo Yavatal Adm Pirivya. A person should not refrain from fulfilling the mitzvah of Pirivya, being fruitful and multiplying, meaning having children. A person should not refrain from doing that, from trying to fulfill that mitzvah, Elim Ken Yesh Lebanim, unless he already has children. If he already has children, then he doesn't have the obligation anymore to be of a pruavu, to have children. But if, let's say, he doesn't have children, then he's got to make sure that he marries a woman that could have children. The point is that if you don't have children yet, that's not an excuse to say, okay, well, I'm not going to have. If you don't have children, you have the obligation to fulfill the mitzvah. And therefore, the Mishnah says you should not refrain unless you already have children. If you don't have children, then you need to be able to marry a woman from whom you could have children with. Now, how many children? What do you have to do? What exactly is the way that a person fulfills this mitzvah? So Beis Shammai say Shnei Zcharim, 2 boys. That's what he says. You have to have 2 boys. If you have 1 boy and 9 girls, it's not going to help you. It has to be 2 boys according to Beis Shammai. And according to Beis Shammai has his source from where he learns it from. Beis Hillel say Zachar and Akeva. You have to have a boy and a girl. Okay? 5 boys doesn't help. You have to have a boy and a girl. Shenema, as the pasuk says, Zachar and Akeva bara'am. Male and female, he created them. When Hashem created man, it was male and female. So a person, Beis Hillel says, is that a person has to follow that example of Hashem. The same way when Hashem put people into the world, it was male and female. So too, our mitzvah of populating the world has to be male and female. That is Beis Hillel's opinion, and that is the halacha that we follow. Now, continuing from that, Nasa Isha, person married a woman, V'shah Ima Eser Shonim, and he was married to her for 10 years. Just give me 1 second. Okay, he was married to her for 10 years. V'lo Yolda, and she hasn't given birth yet. Einai Rashai Libato, he is not permitted to refrain. That means the fact that he has married, hasn't had children, is not a reason to say that he shouldn't try to have children. He should marry another woman and have children. Gersha, if let's say he divorces her, she can marry somebody else. The fact that she doesn't have children with this man doesn't mean that she's barren. Doesn't mean to say she can't have children. It means with this man she can't have children. So if he divorces her after 10 years so that he can marry somebody else, she can go marry somebody else too. And the second person can stay with her 10 years. Meaning that the clock starts over again. The whole issue is between this man and this woman. If she marries somebody else, then the 10 years starts over again. Then he pila. Now let's say she miscarried. And she became pregnant from the man, but she miscarried. Maida misha she pila. Then one counts the 10 years, not from when they first got married, but from when she miscarried. Because if she miscarried, that means that they were able to have children together. So now, the 10 years of seeing whether it's possible to have children together or not starts again from that point in time. Then the Mishnah concludes, Ha'ish mitzuva al pirivya v'lo isha. A man is commanded on this mitzvah being fruitful and multiplying. The obligation of having children is upon a man, v'lo isha. But a woman does not have this mitzvah pruavu. This actual Torah mitzvah of having children, this mitzvah is not incumbent upon her. Rabbi Yochanan ben Breika says, Al shneim hu omer, regarding both of them, meaning both man and women, the pasuk said, Vayivarach Hashem Elokim, Hashem blessed them meaning male and female, man and woman, Vayimer lahem Elokim pruavu, and Hashem said to them, be fruitful and multiple. So in the pasuk, who is Hashem talking to when he says pruavu? Not just to man, but to both. And therefore, Rabbi Yochanan ben Breika says, the mitzvah is incumbent upon both. The halacha is not like Rabbi Yochanan. The halacha is like the first opinion that says that only the man has the obligation. And the fact that the pasuk says that Hashem blessed them both and said, be fruitful and multiply, means to say that the blessing to be fruitful and multiply was said both to man and woman, but the obligation of having children is upon the man, upon the man alone.
But you're gonna get married.
All right, now the Chofetz Chaim continues. Va'afilu b'kagoyim b'ayis d'tuvia hanal inimut el kabal stam rak b'tzaref al zeh shnei apratim shetzarech lezebehem be'inyan hakabala. The point is like this, that as we said before, there are going to be certain circumstances where, if it's not essentially Lashon Hara, to go ahead and say it, because let's say the person did something that is absolutely forbidden to do. Absolutely forbidden. There's no question, there's no excuse. There's no way to give the benefit of the doubt. The person has done something that's absolutely wrong. And we say then that if you're saying this, if you tell this to someone who believes you like two people, and he will do something instructive with it, you can tell him that. So you need two conditions to be able to accept what's being told, what's being said. Again, from the person you believe as two people. You are only allowed to believe him if he said, I saw it. But if he said, oh, I heard this and this, that doesn't help. If he is someone that said he himself saw it, he witnessed it, and you believe him like two witnesses, then there can be these. Then under these circumstances, you exactly believe what he said and act upon it. But if he didn't see it himself, he just heard about it, that's not enough. Then the second condition is, and even if, let's say, he says that I saw it myself, you can believe him to the point that you're going to stay away from associating with him until you know that he has repented. He's done shuvah. But you cannot go and tell other people about it. Meaning again, you can believe it to the point of you're staying away from this person. And I believe it said before you can even tell your students to stay away, because they probably believe. I think it says that there. But just to go and start telling other people about it, this wouldn't be. It wouldn't be enough. It wouldn't be enough. You couldn't rely just on this to do that. And all the more so, you cannot cause him any kind of financial loss or to physically hurt him in any way. If you're going to believe this person, even on something that he could actually relate, there wouldn't essentially be Lashon Hara, because there's no question he did something wrong. And we're saying someone else, if they believe it like two people, can believe you. They can only believe you, again, if you said that you saw it yourself. And number two, you can only believe it to the point of not associating with the person, but to actually actively go and hurt the person in some way, to tell others about what you heard, to in some way or another not take care of him the way you should as another fellow Jew, that you would not be able to do. Have a wonderful day.